October is here, and with that comes a slew of new horror movies all being pushed out the door in time for the Halloween season. Well, I thought I'd do a special one-off and show you all the best new horror movies releasing this month. 14 in all. Things kick off on October 3rd with Salem's Lot.
It's not safe!
Salem's Lot is based on the 1975 Stephen King horror novel about a writer who returns to his main hometown only to discover it's being preyed on by a vampire. This is the third adaptation of King's classic novel, with the other two being miniseries. I don't know about you, but I'm down for another adaptation because I really love the previous miniseries, and the book is being directed by Gary Dauberman, who's most known for writing most of the Annabelle movies and directing Annabelle Comes Home. Salem's Lot will release straight to Max on October 3rd, and releasing on the same day is Hold Your Breath. This is a horror thriller that takes place during the 1930s Oklahoma Dust Bowl and follows a mother who believes there's an evil presence within the storms haunting her family. Hold Your Breath has an interesting mix of history and supernatural horror and will star Sarah Paulson. It will be a Hulu original, meaning you can watch it there, and most likely on Hotstar in a lot of regions. It releases on the 3rd. Then one more release on the 3rd is Prime's House of Spoils.
We have a squid ink risotto. It was hot.
The spoon can get very hot.
This is a supernatural horror film about a chef who opens her first restaurant on a remote estate, but soon faces a supernatural threat from the spirit of the estate's previous owner. Yet another horror movie in a month full of them, great for people getting into the Halloween spirit. House of Spoils will stream exclusively on Amazon Prime Video. Then over on Netflix is The Platform 2. This is the sequel to the 2019 dystopian sci-fi horror film, and again returns to the tower-style prison that has a free floating platform that delivers food to prisoners on a daily basis. If you missed the first movie, you should definitely check it out on Netflix, as it was a very entertaining film that has built a pretty big cult following. The Platform 2 looks to bring more of the same and promises to be more tense and politically charged than the first film. You can watch it exclusively on Netflix on the 4th. Speaking of Netflix, that's not the only movie dropping on the 4th. There's also It's What's Inside.
It's trippy, huh?
See that? That's my body. This game is kind of hot.
This is a horror comedy that takes place during a pre-wedding party that turns into an existential nightmare when an estranged friend shows up with a mysterious suitcase. The trailer for It's What's Inside looks really good, and I urge you to check it out if you're interested. It premiered back at Sundance to great reviews, so this is an under-the-radar film that I'm definitely looking forward to. Next is The Forest Hills. This is an indie horror thriller about a man who is tormented by nightmarish visions after enduring head trauma while camping in the Catskill Woods. The Forest Hills is notable because it features the last performance of Shelley Duvall, who sadly passed away in July. It also stars Edward Furlong from Terminator 2 and Stacey Nelkin from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It drops on October 4th. And you'll see the 4th is a pretty loaded day because we still have 3 more releasing that day, including VHS Beyond. This is the 7th movie in the VHS franchise, which is a found footage anthology. As with any anthology, they have been hit and miss over the years, but they've always been a solid choice to fire up around the holiday season. You can watch VHS Beyond on Shudder. After that, we have Frankie Freako.
We're here to help you loosen up. We're gonna party hard, and then we'll be on our way. Time to get Freako!
Shamadoo.
Frankie Freako comes from the director of Psycho Goreman and is another horror comedy with an 80s movie vibe. It's about a man who calls a late-night party hotline that promises out-of-this-world fun, but instead must battle the pint-sized forces of evil unleashed through his phone. If you're into horror comedies, this movie has a lot of potential. It releases in theaters on the 4th. And one more movie on the 4th is Little Bites. In a desperate attempt to protect her 10-year-old daughter, a young widow allows a nightmarish monster to slowly eat her alive. Little Bites will release on Shudder. Then for what's surely one of the most anticipated horror movies this holiday season, Terrifier 3. The Terrifier movies are some gruesome slashers, and this third movie in the franchise, fourth if you count All Hallows Eve, is a Christmas movie. Part 3 follows Sienna and her brother from Part 2, who are trying to move on from their terrifying experience with Art the Clown, and just when they think they're safe, guess who returns? I'm excited about this one. I really love Terrifier's excellent take on the slasher genre. Terrifier 3 will be releasing in theaters on October 11th. And another big October horror movie is Smile 2. Smile 2 follows a pop star who begins to experience terrifying and inexplicable events as she prepares for a world tour, forcing her to confront dark aspects of her past. The first Smile movie was one of the surprise, very entertaining horror films of 2022. Smile 2 brings back the same writer and director, Parker Finn, so if you enjoyed the first film, you can expect more of the unsettling atmosphere and psychological tension that made the first Smile a hit. Smile 2 will be releasing in theaters on October 18th. And there's 3 more releases on the 18th to round out the month, starting with I Will Never Leave You Alone. After being released from prison, a man is forced to stay in a haunted house to clear it of spirits. If he leaves, he goes back to prison, but the witch ghost may be more punishment than he can withstand. Looks pretty creepy if you're into haunted house movies. It will release on video on demand. Also on the 18th is Rippy.
G'day, Skip.
Yeah, it's a horror movie about a killer zombie kangaroo. I don't think we need to say more. You can watch it in theaters or video on demand. And last but not least is Die Alone. It's about a young man who has amnesia and bands together with a rugged survivalist in a zombie-like outbreak to find his girlfriend. Die Alone stars Frank Grillo, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Douglas Smith, and will release on the 18th. That's a lot of horror movies to check out this month. Let me know which ones you plan on watching in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you again soon.